The BBC Trust has launched its latest review of services, this time looking at Radio 5 Live, 5 Live Sports Extra, Radio 4 and Radio 4 Extra.
A big part of these reviews is getting views from listeners, and the public consultation actually opens today. The trustee directing the review is Ellen Kloss-Stevens. Welcome to 5 Live. Lovely to have you on.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Tell us exactly why this review is taking place.
Well, every few years, as you've just said, the Trust reviews its services. So we've just recently done television, BBC 1, BBC 2, 3 and 4. And we are in the middle of music radio at the moment, Radio 1, 2, 3. And this is the beginning, the launch today of the review of speech radio, which is Radio 4, Radio 4 Extra, Radio 5 Live and Radio Sports and 5 Sports Extra. And as you've just said, basically, we just want to know from the audience what they think about the service that they're getting. How can we evolve? How can we make it better? What they like, what they might not like. And I'm really grateful to you for giving time to this item, because I'd really like people to get involved and to write in, to hash, to tweet, to email, whatever they want. And let us know what they think.
Well, you've got a captive audience now of 5 Live listeners. As long as, by the way, not allowed to say anything awful about this programme. Okay, that's the only deal. You can come on as long as that's the case. But what do you...
It won't be my thoughts anyway. It'll be the thoughts of the people who are listening.
Well, you're talking to the listeners now, so just a few more specifics, if you would, of exactly what you want them to do and where to go.
Well, as I said, this is a sort of overarching review, because quite often, I mean, you've got an immensely loyal audience. You know that people pick up the phone, or they email, or they have a Twitter account, and they get in touch with you all the time. And you have one of the most interactive stations in the radio number of stations. But very often that's on a particular topic, or a particular presenter, or a particular thought or discussion. What we're saying is, why don't you take a step back, and instead of just interacting with whatever's been on the air that particular day, why don't you just take a look at the whole station and think, is this the station I'm most loyal to? Why? What really gets to me in the presenters, in the tone of voice, in the breadth of coverage? What is it I'd like more of? What might I not want so much of? And in sport as well, whether the coverage of different sports is enough, whether the tone of voice is good. Really, it's not about trying to find anything wrong. It's about evolving. It's about making it better.
Ellen, Radio 4 and 4 Extra were last reviewed by the Trust, I think, 3 years ago, and 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra reviewed in 2012. What was the outcome of that review?
Well, those reviews talked about distinctiveness, and they were very pleased with the result of the review. Obviously, you have an immensely loyal audience both on Radio 4 and 5 Live, but I think there were certain considerations about diversity of voice, about a replenishing audience for Radio 4. That's not to say that Radio 4 should become younger. It's all about whether you are still gaining loyal listeners in the younger age group who are going to go on and listen to Radio 4 for many years to come. And in Radio 5 Live in particular, we felt that the news coverage sometimes veered into a bit of celebrity and a bit of sort of lighter feature, and we wanted a more clear differentiation between what was news and what was comment and sort of kind of variety features.
Did you like the little mention of Harry Styles' Twitter beforehand? Was that not news? Was that a variety feature?
I think it's all about the mix.
How do people get in touch specifically if they want to start contributing to the consultation as of today?
Well, obviously, there's a Twitter account, which is at BBC Trust, #Trust Review. There's a Speech Radio 14, one word, at bbc.co.uk. It's a questionnaire, and I'm really pleased about the questionnaire because it's very open-ended. You know, too often questionnaires sort of lead you in particular directions or constrain you in some ways. Mm-hmm. And these are very, very open-ended questions, and they just allow you to have your say about the whole of the mix, the tone of voice, and also, very importantly, whether we're getting it right in terms of the new digital technology, because people are listening on very different devices nowadays, and we want to know whether we are at the forefront of that technology or whether we could do more to help our audiences get the stuff that they want,
Ellen,
when they want.
Thanks for coming on. That's Ellen Kloss-Stevens. And if you'd like to get involved, as she said, in that Trust review, you can go and fill out the online form on the Trust website, or the Twitter address is at BBC Trust. And just a word of warning, my mother always used to say, if you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say it.
Or as my mother would say, if you haven't got anything nice to say, come sit by me.
You can say what you like. We welcome your honest feedback.